Hi, this is GP here, and let's get started with the session. We had a break of a couple of weeks because I was traveling, and today I come back with another data set from an old CAT paper, and इसमें देखेंगे कि जुगाड़ कैसे लगा सकते हैं and how do we do the data set faster. Okay, चलो. But before we start, couple of quick announcement. भैया ये कर लो. OpenCDC 3 is on, and this will be in a test center which is going to replicate the process of CAT. It will and you will look at you'll be taking a mock at a center which is like that of a CAT center, and what one thing you realize that when you take a paper in actual exam environment, score गिर जाते हैं. So there's a good way for you to test yourself in an actual test environment and to see how you perform under pressure. ये 2-3 बार ले लोगे ना तो उससे फायदा ये होगा कि it will become, when you take CAT, it will become another mock for you. Okay? So you can scan, you can and you can register for it, and make sure you don't miss this one. Okay, okay. And yes, there's a sprint program which is already on at a very very reasonable price, and a good program for those of you who want to look at revising your complete process, complete syllabus, and daily classes online, and at a very very reasonable price for you. Okay, and yes, now let's get down to the session. As usual, what we are looking at the section 2 of CAT, which is DILR 40-minute section, and last year it had 22 questions in 5 sets of data, and this is the kind of the pattern we expect in 25 also. There's actually a 24 pattern, but we expect the same thing to happen in 25 also. So ठीक है, आगे चल के देखते हैं. Okay, and one very good quick thing, something I keep emphasizing again and again, that if in DILR, if you get 50% marks, you would be somewhere between 97.5 to 99.5 percentile. 50% marks, which means half the paper, if you do it correctly, that is what you will get. Okay. Now just look at the last 5 years data of CAT. If you look at the CAT 2020 to 25 papers, what is 50% going to be? 50%. Okay, let me write it here. 50% marks for CAT 24 would be 33. 30 for the previous 3 papers, and 72 mark paper in 2020, so 36. Now please look at it here. 50% आने पे तुम कहाँ होते? In CAT 2020, 50% marks, 36 marks would have made you just a shade above 99 percentile. In CAT 21, 30 marks would have been between 90, say about 97.5, 97, 97.5 percentile, on maybe 98 also, but around 97.5 is a safe number to look at. Next year, CAT 22, 30 marks would have got you above 99 percentile again. Similarly, if you look at CAT 23, 30 marks would have got you almost a 99.5 percentile. And last year's paper, which is the easiest paper in the last maybe 10 years or so, 33 marks, which is 50%, इसमें आपको again you would have been about 97.5 percentile. So key thing to understand is, if I can get 50% marks, यानी मेरे को 5 सेट नहीं देखने हैं, मेरे को देखना है कि मेरे को आधे सवाल हो जाते हैं कि नहीं. Whether I do from 1 set or 2 sets or 3 sets or 4 sets does not matter. I need to look at doing 50%, getting 50% marks or attempting half the paper correctly. Okay? Obviously ज्यादा हो जाएगा तो अच्छा है, but this is what you need to be clear about, that this is not a paper. Look at the easiest paper of the last 10 years or so, which was CAT 2024 in terms of DILR. 99.5 was at less than 60% marks. Okay? Or just around 60% marks. Okay? 2/3 से कम है. 60% of 66 would be how much? 6.6 into 6, which is 39.6. So this is maybe about 62% marks. 62% पे 99.5 है. 100 percentile आपको 70%, 75% पे आ जाता. Okay? So please remember, your job is to attempt the easy question. Difficult नहीं करने होते हैं, and तेज करना है. And to do that, we use Jugaad. And what is Jugaad? Just to repeat, it's a problem-solving approach. It is not a shortcut technique. It's a holistic approach of problem solving, which focuses on using all available information. And when I say all available information, अब तक तो मालूम हो गया होगा, information data के साथ साथ question and choices में भी होती है. And that is what you need to look at. That information in the data and the question and the choices. And your focus has to be on solving the questions and not filling up the table. Unfortunately, many students focus कि टेबल बना लेंगे. यार टेबल तो उस हिसाब से बनाओगे ना जैसे कि तुम्हारा सवाल है. So the table also has to be made keeping the question in the mind, and hence it is extremely important that you work with the questions and focus on solving them and make the table accordingly. Okay. So what is the basic philosophy that we work on? This is what we're looking at. First, our task is to decipher, understand, comprehend the data. So the data which is given, your job is to decipher or comprehend the data. Next, identify. Identify what? Questions जो given है, within the question there is information. Within the question, some questions are more useful than others. Some of these questions will be helpful in solving the data set for you. Identify those questions. Pick out that information. Identify those questions. Pick out information for the question. And based on the question, you tabulate the data. The layout is nothing but tabulation of data. So you tabulate, keeping in mind question ने क्या पूछा, उसकी तरफ ज़्यादा है, and then along with that you solve or you solve the questions. Remember, this is not a this is when I look at identify, layout, resolve. This is a back and forth process. कुछ identify करोगे, कुछ layout करोगे, कुछ resolve करोगे, and वापस आगे पीछे चलते रहोगे. It is not 4 compartments. This is a porous kind of a thing where you keep going back and forth. So DILR, decipher, identify, layout, and resolve is the basic tactical guide that we work on. And I hope आज का session you have downloaded the PDF and solved it yourself. If not, please pause the video here. आगे नहीं देखना है. क्या करोगे? Scan this particular QR code. When you scan the QR code, you'll go to OpenCat, which is a free platform available to all of you for your preparation. And यहाँ पे, if you go to GP का Jugaad tab, you will find these sessions here. These are the past sessions which I have done. And when I look at this, but each of these sessions has a PDF and a video. For today's session, अभी तुमको PDF ही दिखेगा, video नहीं दिखेगा, कि video तो आज बन रहा है. When you after attending the session, you can look at it. So right now, what you need to do is download this PDF, which is the PDF of the PPT of the data set that I'm going to solve today. उसको download करके solve it yourself. After you have solved it yourself, फिर आके video देखना है. Okay, and that is the process you need to follow for the earlier sessions also. Okay, chalo, let's get down to work now. And today we are looking at a CAT 2019 slot 1 paper. This was again one of my papers. इसको आसान set था. Many people were able to solve, but if you would have applied Jugaad, you would have solved it very, very fast. And it's make all interesting cheese hai. This data set has 2 very easy questions and 2 questions will take a little bit of time. So this kind of a data set is also one of the जहाँ पे तुम सोच सकते हैं, अच्छा काम करते हैं यार, 2 सवाल कर लेंगे, बाकी 2 छोड़ देते हैं. Okay? Obviously, data जब शुरू किया solve करना तब नहीं पता चलेगा, but halfway when you have solved 2 questions, you realize that to do the remaining 2 questions, you need to spend a lot of time or more time the earlier 2. So maybe you can afford to leave it also. Okay, chalo, let's look at the data set to understand क्या है ये. Actually, some of you may have attended the race to 99. उसमें भी हमने कराया है, but ठीक है. For those who have not attended race to 99, for them it will be useful. Okay, 6 players, T, U, W, X, Y, and Z competed in an archery tournament. The tournament had 3 compulsory rounds, round 1, 2, 3. In each round, every player shot an arrow at the target, hitting the center of the target called the bullseye. So center of the target is called the bullseye. Fetch the highest score of 5. So 5 is the highest score. If you hit the center of the target, 5 number will get. The only other possible scores that the player could achieve were 4, 3, 2, 1. So the scores which you could get were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 being the highest, and you get 5 if you hit the bullseye. Okay, center of the target. Every bullseye score in the first 3 rounds gave a player 1 additional chance to shoot in the bonus. Okay? 1 additional chance to shoot in the bonus. क्या मतलब? अगर in the first 3 rounds I have 1 bullseye, I'll get a 4th round also. If I have 2 bullseye, I'll get 2 4th and 5th round. If I have 3 bullseye, I'll get a 4th, 5th, and 6th round. 3 of them. So 3 additional chances for every bullseye. You get 1 extra chance you get 1 extra round to play. Okay. After the first round, पहले 3 round तो सबको करने हैं, लिखा है ना यहाँ पे. The tournament had 3 compulsory rounds, 1, 2, 3, right? Okay. Gave player 1 additional in the bonus rounds, round 4 to 6. Round 4 to 6 are the bonus rounds. The possible scores in rounds 4 to 6 were identical. तो इसमें भी 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ही नंबर मिलेंगे. Player's total score in the tournament was the sum of his or her scores in all the rounds played by him. So if you have played only 3 rounds, your score will be out of 3 rounds. If you played 4 rounds, because you had 1 bullseye, तो चौथे तक भी स्कोर आपके में ऐड हो जाएगा. If you get 3 bullseye in the first 3 rounds, you'll play 6 rounds, and your total score will be the sum of the points in all the 6 rounds. Okay. The table below presents partial information on points scored by players after completion of the tournament. In the table, NP means that the player did not participate in the round. So Tanzi did not participate in round 5 or round 6. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ है? Tanzi has participated in round 4. That means she would have got one bullseye. In round 1, 2, 3 में से एक में bullseye होगा. Round 2 तो Tanzi has got 4 points. That means either round 1 or round 3, Tanzi would have got 5 marks. Would have hit the bullseye. Similarly, if you look at Umeza, played in round 4 and 5, that means 2 bullseye. That means out of these 3, round 1, 2, 3, 2 of them are going to be bullseye. Similarly, if I look at Zyla, 3. That means first 3 have to be bullseye. Okay. So NP means player did not participate in the round, while a hyphen means player participated in the round and the score information is missing. ठीक है, समझ आ गया, समझने में ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है. Okay, what we have understood, 6 players, first 3 rounds are compulsory. Okay, so let me just write it down just for the benefit of. So 6 players. Okay, round 1, 2, 3 compulsory. Round 4 to 6 are bonus rounds. Okay, round 1, 2, 3 every bullseye. Bullseye means 5 points. Every bullseye in round 1, 2, 3 implies 1 extra round. Okay, 1 extra round in round 4, 5, 6. Secondly, NP means did not participate. So if you have not participated, that means you would not have got the bullseye in that bullseye. Okay. For example, Wangru did not participate in round 4, 5, 6. That means Wangru did not get a bullseye in any of these 3 rounds. Okay. Done, clear? Chalo. अगला चीज क्या करना है? What we have done? We have done the D, decipher. Now let's look at I, the identification part. Okay. What do we need to look at? Look at the questions. First question, highest total score. Okay. Choices are there, numbers are there, so hopefully this will be of help to me. Question 2 was asking me to say Zenika's total score. So there are 2 things which are important for me: highest total score and Zenika's total score. So Zenika is an important person for me, and the highest total score is another important item. Question 3, which of the following statements is true? Normally I would skip these statements, this kind of question, but without, क्योंकि इसमें ज्यादा कुछ कह नहीं सकते, मगर इसमें कुछ चीज दिख गई. क्या ये खाली Zyla और Zenika के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? Only Zyla and Zenika. So the two important people out here happen to be Zyla and Zenika as far as data set is concerned. मेरे को उनको जल्दी solve करना है. So when I'm solving my table, I have to remember यार Zyla, Zenika important है, इनको पहले देखें क्या आता है. ठीक है? And यहाँ पे क्या? Either Zyla or Zenika have 23, or one of them is the highest scorer. यही दिख रहा है ना? Zenika 23, Zyla 23, or Zyla highest scorer or Zenika. Either Zyla or Zenika will be the highest scorer, or one of them will have 23. But what was question 1? Highest total score. So bhaiya, question 1 and question 3 are somewhere connected to each other. Both of them are talking about the highest total score or the scorer. Okay. And then question 4, what is Tanzi's score in round 3? So तीसरा important इंसान Tanzi है जिसका round 3 चाहिए. Okay. So for me, what is important is I need to find the total score of Zenika. I need to find Zyla also. Why Zyla? Because question 3, either Zyla or Zenika has 23, or either Zyla or Zenika is the highest scorer. I also need the highest total score, and I need to know Tanzi का. तो भैया ये मेरे को question ने बता दिया क्या मुझे काम करना है. So my focus should be to fill up these things. Okay, चलो अब solve करते हैं इसको. Okay, so far we have this data in front of us, and I'm just highlighting क्या क्या करना है. Highest total score. We are interested in Zenika's total score also. And question number 3, we are looking at Zenika and Zyla. Okay. And what is important is 23 or the highest scorer, 23 or the highest scorer. Either Zyla or Zenika is the highest scorer, or one of them has 23. Okay. And thirdly, Tanzi's score in round 3. So what do I need to know? I need to know Tanzi's score in round 3. Okay. Secondly, I need to know total score of Zyla. I need to know total score of Zenika. Okay. I need to know these things more than anything else. Okay. And Zenika हो गया, Zyla हो गया. Why Zyla? Because question number 3 में. So ये मेरे को focus रखना है. चलो अब लेके चलते हैं. Okay. Let's start putting the data. Statement 1. T, U and Y had the same total score. T, U and Y had the same total score. Okay. So let me write X to each of them. T, U and Y have the same total score. Let's everything X. तो तीनों का score X ले लिया. Okay. Total score for all players except one were in multiples of 3. Sabka score except 1. So out of these 6, 5 have a score which is a multiple of 3 and 1 has a score which is not a multiple of 3. So 5 have a score which is a multiple of 3 and 1 does not have a score which is a multiple of 3. Okay. So I can't do anything with this information question क्योंकि देखते हैं कैसे यूज करेंगे बाद में. Third statement. Highest total score was 1 more than double of the lowest total score. Highest is equal to twice of lowest. Highest is equal to twice of lowest plus 1. क्या मतलब हुआ? What does this mean? Remember question 1 क्या था? Highest total score. This means highest total score has to be odd. That means question 1, one choice I have eliminated. Okay. So please remember, this is telling me something. This particular question statement is telling me highest total score has to be twice of the lowest, which means it will be even, plus 1. That means odd ho jayega. So this number has to be an odd number. So pehla khatam. Secondly, if this is 23 is the highest total score. If 23 is the highest total, what will be the lowest total score? 23 minus 1, 22 by 2, 11. Then the lowest will be 11. If highest is 25, lowest will be 12. If highest is 21, lowest will be 10. Okay. Now, please tell me, how many non-multiples of 3 are possible? Look at statement 2. Total scores for all players except 1 were in multiples of 3. That means there can only be one score which is not a multiple of 3. That means choice 1 is wrong. Why? Because if choice 1 highest total score is not a multiple of 3 and lowest total score is also not a multiple of 3, then there are 2 people who got a score which is not a multiple of 3, which is contradicting statement 2. So ये तो नहीं हो सकता. What about 25 and 12? 25 is not a multiple of 3, 12 is a multiple of 3. ठीक है. 21 is a multiple of 3, 10 is. So इनमें से ही है कोई. ठीक है. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Okay. The number of players hitting bullseye in round 2 was double of round 3. I can't do anything about this at this point. कब आएगा काम मेरे? When I have to eliminate cases. That is when I will use it. So statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, I've used it. Statement 4, मेरे को मालूम नहीं अभी क्या करना है. I will look at it at an appropriate stage when I have to eliminate cases. Statement 5, Tanzi and Zeneca had same scores in round 1 but different scores in round 3. ये भी कब चाहिए होगा? Because statement 4 and 5, both of them will be required when I have to eliminate cases. So I'll look at these two later. Okay. So far, this is what I know. Now, what are the important people for me? As I said, Zyla and Zel. Okay. Let's see. क्या है इनकी हालत? Let's look at each of them. Zyla. Zyla has played in 6 rounds. Hyphen means did not participated, but we don't know the score. That means Zyla has played in all 3, the 4, 5, 6. That means Zyla के पहले 3 में bullseye होगा. So Zyla would have got 5 points in the first 3 rounds. Because Zyla has played in 6 rounds, the 3 bonus rounds, 4, 5, 6 mean that Zyla would have got 3 bullseye before that. So what can I say about the total score of Zyla? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. Can I say greater than 21? Why? इसमें 0 थोड़ा ना आया होगा. Because if you remember, what is it? The scores which are possible are 1, 2, 3, 4 and the bullseye. So even if Zyla gets 1 mark, 1 point in this particular round, it will be more than 21. Okay, even if it gets 1, it becomes 22. That means 21 cannot be the highest score. Highest score has to be 25. Okay, so the highest score has to be 25. Okay, and what about Zeneca? Let's look at Zeneca. Is Zyla the highest? I don't know at this point of time. As per question number 3, Zeneca could be highest, Zyla could be the highest. Okay, मुझे मालूम नहीं कौन है, but I know Zyla is definitely more than 21 and the lowest is going to be 12. So highest is 21, lowest is 12. Let's look at lowest also. Lowest पे बाद में आते हैं, पहले Zeneca को देख लेते हैं. Zeneca has participated in round 4 and 5. That means in the remaining, in the round 1, 2, 3 would have got 5 and 5. So what will be the score? 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 plus this. So score of Zeneca is going to be 5. Let's say out of the first 3 rounds, they'll get 5, 5 and let's say Y. And these two are 5, 5. So what will be the total score of Zeneca? 20 plus Y. What is the maximum value of Y? 5 तो नहीं हो सकता, क्यों? Because if this Y is also 5, that means Zeneca has got 3 bullseye and would have then participated in round 6 also. So the maximum value of Y is 4. What does that tell you? That Zeneca is less than equal to 24. That means Zeneca cannot be the highest scorer. Highest scorer कौन होगा? Xyla होगा. Then Xyla has to be the highest scorer. Okay. So Xyla is the highest scorer. Zeneca will be the not equal to 23. Zeneca will not be equal to 23 and Zeneca is not the highest scorer. Okay. No issues, I hope. यहाँ तक हो गया. चलो आगे चलते हैं फिर. Okay. So if this is 25, what does that mean? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 plus 4, 25. Chalo. And Zeneca? Zeneca is 5, 5, how much? Look at Zeneca's total score. Now, please tell me the highest is 25, not a multiple of 3. Xyla is 25, which is not a multiple of 3. That means बाकी सबका तो multiple of 3 होना चाहिए. So Zeneca is going to be, Zeneca will be less than equal to 24. And Zeneca should be a multiple of 3. Zeneca has to be multiple of 3 ना? तो ये भी नहीं हो सकता. ये भी नहीं हो सकता. Zeneca is either 21 or 24. What does that mean? In the first 3 rounds, Zeneca would have got 5-5-1 or 5-5-4. Or let me say, it is either 5-5-1 or 5-5-4. Okay, it could even be 5-1 or 4-5, or it could be 1 or 4-5-5. It could be any of these 3 combinations. Okay? It could be any of these 3 combinations. But ये तो पक्का है, Zeneca is either 21 or 24. Okay? Now look at this data. ज़्यादा काम नहीं किया. 2 सवाल हो गए हमारे. Question 1 and question 3 we have solved. What are question 2 and 4? Zeneca's total score. Okay. And why and how will I do it? I'll have to use statement 4 and 5 for this. Number of players hitting bullseye in round 2 is double of round 3. Tanzi and Zeneca had same score in round 1 but different scores in round 2. So that means now to do this particular thing, I will have to solve, I will have to make cases and solve. अब सोच लो. औकात में लगता है, आगे चलो. If you think this is beyond you, leave this set and move on. But what is important is in something like 5, 6, 7 minutes, you have got 2 correct answers. It is perfectly fine to leave and move on also. ठीक है? अभी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, but मैं कहूँ पेपर में ये सोचना चाहिए है. Okay? But also what is important is remember, this question number 2 has told me Zeneca is either 5-5-1 or 5-5-4. So even if I have to solve, I have to remember, भैया यही यूज करना है. Okay? यही यूज करना है. ठीक है? चलो. Now let's look at the remaining people. Okay, 12 किसका आएगा? Who's going to be the lowest scorer? Tanzi will be 5-4-9, and there will be at least 1 5 out here. Tanzi has got at least 1 5 because has played round 4. So एक और bullseye होगा. So it is 5, 4, and something we don't know what. Okay. So what is the maximum minimum score for Tanzi? There's a 5 plus 4 9 plus 5 14 plus something. So Tanzi is greater than 14. Okay. Greater than 14. If Tanzi is greater than 14, what that tells us is, what does that tell us is, पहली चीज Tanzi should be a multiple of 3. So the Tanzi could be is greater than 14. That means Tanzi is not 14, will be either 15 or 18 or 21 or whatever. Multiple of 3. Okay. But what is the upper limit for Tanzi, by the way? Okay. If I look at 5, 4, 4 हो सकता है ना best case में 5, so 8 and 10, 18. So Tanzi is greater than 14 and less than 18, less than equal to 18. So that means Tanzi can be either for 15 or 18. Okay, but 5, 4 and 1 more gap is out there which we need to fill. Omeza played in 2 rounds out here, 2 bonus rounds, यानी 5, 5 तो आएगा. And the third is not. So what will this mean? 5, 5, 10, 10 and 3, 13. 5, 5, 10, and C 13. What is the maximum Tanzi Omega can get here? Maximum Omega can get is 4. So what will be the maximum score of Omega? Even if Omega gets 5, 5, 4, what does that mean? 14, 15, 16, 17. Omega will be less than equal to 17. Tanzi and Omega ka score to same hai na? That means 18 is not possible. And Omega in any case needs to be a multiple of 3 because all except 1 are multiple of 3. And who's not a multiple of 3? Xylon. Okay. So that means 18 भी नहीं हो सकता. ये 15 ही होगा. That means this should also be 15. And okay, because Tanzi had only two options, 15, 18. Omega has to be less than 17. If Omega has to be less than 17, that means it has to be 15 because multiple of 3. So let's check for Unita also because same issue there also. Has played in round 4 only. So only one bonus round. What does that mean? 5. I'll just erase this part. Okay. So 5 space 3. Okay. How much in the first round? 5, 6, 7, 8. Bonus rounds 5, 13. And even if this particular number is going to be highest possible 4. So कितना हो जाएगा 12 plus 5, 17. This is also less than equal to 17. That means all 3 of them will be 15. That means x is equal to 15. X is equal to 15. Right? I'm just erasing these things which are not required so that it's easier for you to understand. So x is equal to 15. Now, if x is equal to 15, what does that mean? Tanzi ka kya ho gaya? 5, 4, 9. Okay. 2 of these are going to be, okay, Tanzi has played in one round. So 5, 4, 9. 9 and 5, 14. 14 and 1, 15. So it is going to be 5 for 1. Total score of Tanzi is 15. Already has one bonus round because so if one bonus round of 5 means there has a one bullseye in round 1 or 3. So 5, 5, 10. Round 2 ke 14 and total is 15. So it is going to be 5, 4, 1. So Tanzi is 5, 4 and 1. Whether it is 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4 or 5, 1. It could be 5, 1, 4, 1 or it could be 1, 4, 5. This is not the sequence. These are the 3 numbers which I have put. Sequence नहीं है ये. ठीक है? चलो. Omega का क्या है? Omega also has 15. Now, played in these 2. And out of these 2 are going to be bullseye. So 10, 3, 13. So it is going to be 2. Total has to be 15. Similarly, if you look at Unita, also has to be 15. Unita का क्या होगा? Played in one bonus round. So 1, 5 तो पक्का हो गया. And this second 5 makes it 10. 10 and 3, 13. And what does that mean? Another 2. So 5, 2, 3. Because the total has to be 15. 5 to 7 and 3, 10 plus 5, 15. So we have found, Wangru को तो भूल गए. What is the lowest total score? 12 ना? Lowest total score अगर 12 है, तो Tanzi का नहीं हो सकता, Omega का नहीं हो सकता, Wangru का हो सकता है, Xyla not, because others we know is 15 and 15 and 25, and Zeneca is definitely going to be, what is Zeneca? Zeneca is going to be 10, 20, more than 20. It's either 21 or 24. Question number 2 भी बताता है ना. So that means the only person who can be 12 marks is Wangru. And what does that mean? It has to be 4, 4, 4. ठीक है? 2 सवाल जल्दी कर लिए. Now question number 2 and 4 is what we are trying to do. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. Now look at statement number 4 and 5. Tanzi and Zeneca had the same score in round 1 and different in round 3. Okay. Tanzi and Zeneca, let's say, what are the common scores which are possible for them? Tanzi has in round 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 1. These are the 3 numbers in what sequence we don't know. And the other one is Zeneca is either 5, 5 and either 1 or 4. Okay. Tanzi and Zeneca had same score in round 1 but different in round 3. Check करके देखें. And दूसरी चीज क्या चेक करनी है? Number of players hitting bullseye in round 2 was double of round 3. Okay. Which one you want to go with? We can go with either of them. Okay, chalo. Let's go with the statement 4 first. Let's go with statement 4 first. Statement 4 को देखते हैं पहले. Number of people hitting bullseye in round 2 is double of round 3. How many bullseye have been hit in round 1, 2, 3? Round 1, 2, 3, the total number of bullseye hit is 1. Okay. Xyla के भी तो 3, 5 है ना, मैं लिखना भूल गया. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 bullseye in round 1, 2 and 3. And we know round 2 has to be double of round 3. क्या combination हो सकते हैं? If round 3 में 1 bullseye है, if round 3 has 1 bullseye, let me write down bullseye. If round 3 has 1 bullseye, round 2 will have 2 bullseye. Out of a total of 9, that means round 1 will have 6 bullseye. Possible है? नहीं possible है. वांगुर को नहीं मिला. There are 6 players. The maximum number of bullseye which you can get in round 1 is 5. Because Wangur has got 4. So this case is wrong. That means 1 is not a possible option. Chalo. Next देखते हैं. 2 bullseye in round 3, 4 bullseye and 3 bullseye. Possible? Yeah, possible. So let me just look at 2, 4, 3. This is a viable combination. What else can be there? Round 3 में अगर 3 bullseye हो जाते हैं, round 2 will become 6 bullseye because round 2 has to be double. 3 and 6, 9. This will be 0. Not possible. Zyla को 5 मिला है ना round 1 में. So the only viable combination of bullseye is 3, 4, 2. In round 1, there should be 3 bullseye. I'm writing it here now finally. Let me just change the color so it will be easier for you to look at it. Okay. Yeah. So if I'm looking at bullseye, in round 1, there have to be 3 bullseye. In round 2, there have to be 4 bullseye. And round 3, there have to be 2 bullseye. This is what we need to be doing. Okay. Now, Now, round 2, you need 4 bullseye. What does that mean? Look at this. Round 1, out of the 6 people, Tanzi has a 4 and Wangur has a 4. That means all the remaining 4 people should have a bullseye in round 2. That means Umeza should get a round 2 mein bullseye. Yonita should get a bullseye in round 2, Zeneca, because I need total of 4 bullseye in round 2. And Tanzi and Wangur don't have, T and W don't have a bullseye in round 2. That means the remaining 4 people should have it. So, ये आ गया. Okay? So, let me just eliminate the bullseye. जो हो गया है. Tanzi के bullseye अभी जिंदा है. Umeza का 1 bullseye we have used. Wangur का nothing there. Zyla का we have used 1 bullseye. Okay, Zyla को तो छोड़ देते हैं. तीनों हो गए use. All 3 have been entered. Yonita 1 bullseye we have used. Zeneca 1 bullseye we have used. Okay. So, how many bullseye do we need in round 3? In round 3 we need 2 bullseye. And round 1 we need 3 bullseye. Okay. Now let's look at it. I need how many more? 1 आ गया है. So what is left in round 1 is 2 bullseye I need in round 1. And in round 3 I need 1 bullseye. Okay. After all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gone. So 3. So in round 1 I need to put 2 more bullseye. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. As far as Unita is concerned, Unita will not get a bullseye in round 1 because Unita is 5, 2, 3. 3 already ho gaya hai. It is given already, so I'm not counting it. And this one will be 2. Okay. So Unita cannot get a bullseye in round 2. Round 1, sorry. Okay. Because there's nothing to be really looked at. Okay. And so who are left for me? Who are left for me जिनकी bullseye मुझे अभी accommodate करनी है? In round we can have 1 Tanzi, 1 of Umeza, and 1 of Zeneca. Okay. 1 of Tanzi, 1 of Umeza, 1 of Zeneca. Now, look at statement 5 also. Tanzi and Zeneca had same score in round 1 but different in round 3. Okay. Okay. So, if Tanzi and Zeneca have same score in round 1, can they be 5? Yes. They can be 5 also. Or they could be 1 also. Okay. So, let me start by saying, let me put, what if Zeneca and Tanzi, both of them have 1 marks, 1 point in round 1? Same in round 1. What would then happen? Then, round 3, Tanzi should have 5. In round 3, Tanzi should have 5. And Zeneca will also have 5. So, this will contradict. So, round 1, if they have the same score, it cannot be 5, bhai. Because they cannot be 1, sorry. If they are both are 1, that means this is, and the second problem is, अगर ये दोनों 1 हो गए तो यहाँ पे मेरे को एक 5 डालना होगा ना. But that will make it 1 plus 1, 2. I need total of 3 5s. Round 1 में 3 bullseye चाहिए हैं. If Tanzi and Umeza both have a 1 point in round 1, then maximum Umeza can get is 2 bullseye. But I need maximum round 1 can have is 2 bullseye, but apne ko 3 chahiye hai. So that means this is a wrong combination. 1 1 nahi hoga, this will be 5 5. Okay, so I'm just erasing this part, so that 1 is not possible out here. Okay, so this is going to be 5. That means Tanzi will be 5 and 5. In round 1, both of them are 5. Okay, so in round 1, both of them are 5. So this is gone. That means round 1 is covered completely. That means Umeza cannot get a 5 in round 1, because how many round 1 bullseye have happened? Round 1 Tanzi, Saila, Seneca. 3 bullseye done. 4 bullseye done out here. 1 in round 2, 4 bullseye done. So what are we left with? We are left. Okay, let me remove this because it's out nahi abhi. Okay, and what are we left with? We are left with only 1 bullseye. Which one? We have done 5. Okay, 4 was already there. 5. Okay, and Tanzi has to be 1. 5 4 1 ही आएगा ना 59. What was Tanzi's score in round 3? Tanzi's score in round 3 is 1. Okay, we have already got the third question also. Okay, and now only thing left is Zeneka's total score. We'll come to it also. Okay, so 5 5 2. So that means Umeza will be 2 in round 1 and 5 in round 3. Okay, so 5 5 2 12 13 14 15. Okay, what are we left with? Zeneka. Now Zeneca and Tanzi have same score in round 1 but different in round 3. Tanzi has 1 in round 3. Tanzi has scored 1 in round 3. That means Zeneca cannot score 1 in round 3. That means what will this be? This cannot be 1. That means 1 is wrong and it has to be 4. Okay. So what is Zeneca's total score? 5, 10, 15, 20, 24. Zeneca's total score is 24. Correct answer, question 2 is choice 3. Okay. So that completes the set for us. And this is what I mean by saying here, because सवाल के हिसाब से क्वेश्चन करने पेपर टेबल भरना है, ना कि टेबल के हिसाब से. So I fill up the table based on the questions. And just to repeat, what was the right approach? The right approach for this data set was looking at, I'll just repeat, question 1, highest total score. Question, the moment we were able to pick out that the total score for all except 1 is a multiple of 3 and highest is equal to twice of lowest plus 1. Okay, and we said 5 players have a score which is a multiple of 3. 1 player has a score which is not a multiple of 3. Okay, the moment we do that, if this is highest and the lowest will be, okay, first of all this has to be an odd number, so 24 chala gaya. 21 highest here, then small lowest will be 10. 25 highest, 12 lowest, 23 highest, then 11 will be the lowest. Choice 1 goes away because both of these will be not multiples of 3, but we want only 1 to be not a multiple of 3. And the moment we look at this Zyla, we can clearly say Zyla has played in 6 rounds. So 5, 10, 15, 5, 20, 21, this should be greater than 21. Galat ho gaya ye, correct aa gaya. Similarly, when you put Zyla also here, okay, Zyla also here, you realize Zyla cannot be 25. Zyla has to be less than equal to 24. If Zyla is less than equal to 24, that means Zyla cannot be the highest scorer. Zeneca, not Zeneca. Zeneca is less than equal to 24. Zeneca cannot be the highest scorer. Zeneca cannot be 23 because the only non-multiple of 3 is the highest scorer, 25. Zyla cannot be 23 because the only person who can be higher than Zeneca is Zyla, so Zyla has to be the highest scorer. Or you can say this can be 25 and this cannot be less than equal to 24. None of them will be. The other thing is T, U, and V, all of them are the same, so all 3 of them will be less than 20, cannot be the highest. Wangu is again not played, cannot be the highest, so the only highest player can be Zyla. So question number 1 and 3 jaldi ho jate hain. Question 2, you can say question 2, Zeneca score has to be a multiple of 3. But this tells me Zeneca in the first 3 rounds, round 1, 2, 3, would have got the score of 5, 5, 1 or 5, 5, 4. In what sequence is it separating? But yahi number honge. Similarly, then you can look at using the last two statements, then you can do it. So the critical thing is, without using the last two statements, you can still get two questions right, and वो करके भी छोड़ सकते हो. Please remember, you get marks for question, not for set. So if you come across a data set जिसमें दो आसान सवाल है, two easy questions, that's difficult, do the easy question and move on. Don't waste your time trying to do everything under the sun. Okay? So that completes the set, and hopefully इससे थोड़ा और idea लगा होगा how to go about doing these data sets. Okay? And yes, if there are any questions with respect to your preparation, feel free to connect with me at my number. I am available on WhatsApp and regular line, both of them, and my email ID is gp@careerlauncher.com. Okay, and yes, the DILR 1000 is on. If you can enroll it, if you need to prepare for DILR, a good tool. This is being delivered by Gautam Bawa, Ravi Teja, and me. Okay? And if you want, you can enroll for it. Okay? And yes, the final thing is, yes, we have launched our app also, so you can just download the app and you can prepare wherever you are. Okay? So, I'll close the session now. Any doubts, as I said earlier, feel free to connect with me on my email or my phone number.